What's up everybody, Sunkissed here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you that it's still possible to solo the EN06 Guardian with both a human character and a ghoul character. So I'll give you builds for both of those, and you'll see that you can still take it down pretty quickly. I'd like to know down in the comments what you're thinking of the season so far, and also if you could hit that like button and the new hype button. That will help boost the video to a further audience, and without further ado, catch you at the end. Alright, starting off, first things first is our main weapon. This is what we'll be using to attack the Guardian once its shield is down. It's a Furious weapon speed, 3 intelligence, pinpointers, Enclave Plasma Flamer. You can see down in the bottom right the attachments that I'm running. Don't know exactly what the perfect combination after the update is, but just make sure you have a stock that turns this into a rifle, a flamer barrel, and a scope. Capacitor could also change around possibly, but most thing that's important is that you have a flamer rifle that has a scope. Our weapon that we'll be holding and occasionally shooting the Guardian with while we're waiting for it to reflect its damage back to itself for the shield generator is going to be a 50 limb damage pepper shaker. The reason we're using the pepper shaker is because it's a heavy weapon, then we can continue to activate bullet shield. And also, I believe having limb damage on your weapon changes how much limb damage is reflected back to the Guardian. For armor, we have 3 pieces of troubleshooters and 2 pieces of nocturnals, but the other stars are the same. +2 intelligence, through hikers, and reflective are all the same. You could run full troubleshooters. The only reason I have 2 pieces of nocturnals is to give us a little bit of extra AP when we're using this build that is not inside, or when we're not farming the Guardian, essentially. Mutations, I'll just scroll through those pretty quickly here. It's pretty standard, but we have Adrenal Reaction, Bird Bones, Eagle Eyes, Egghead, Herbivore, Herd Mentality, Marsupial, and Speed Demon. It's going to be the same mutations pretty much as the Bloodied human character. But our special point allocation is 15 Strength, 8 Perception, 6 Endurance, 3 Charisma, 7 Intelligence, 10 Agility, 7 Luck. Going into the build. Show you the legendary cards first here. We have 4 of the special cards maxed out, and then taking 1 for the team and follow through. So this is exactly the same as it was before the update. Honestly, most of this build is pretty similar to before the update. I'll just quickly cover the damage related perk cards here. Bullet Shield or Bullet Storm and Easy Target in strength. The rest of this stuff is all just carry weight and quality of life related. In perception, all of these are going to buff our damage here. We have Number Cruncher, Tormentor, Tank Killer, Smart Shot, and Center Masochist. All of those will directly buff our damage. And in endurance, you could run Radiation Power. It's not necessary. You'll essentially need to refill your glow after you're done tanking the damage from the Guardian, though. So just for your awareness, sometimes it takes longer to do that versus just start shooting it right away. But you can include this if you'd like, if you're a ghoul. Tenderizer to essentially just, straight up increase damage over time. Strange in Numbers will buff our intelligence, so it buffs how much damage we're getting increased from the science perk card, which takes me over to the science perk card. This will buff our energy damage based on our intelligence. The rest of this is quality of life, not necessarily required, but I highly recommend it. And over in agility, we have covert ops to increase our sneak damage, and then a couple of gunslinger, guerrilla, and onslaught cards. Escape artist, I don't necessarily know if this is needed, but it seemed like when I was testing, it would help being a little more consistent, staying in caution and hidden after you destroy the shield. Over in luck, we have One Gun Army, because I believe this changes how much damage you reflect back to the Guardian. So I think holding a heavy weapon will reflect back more limb damage. I could be wrong on that, but there honestly isn't too much other stuff in this build that I really needed to stack onto here, so I just threw that on. Ricochet, obviously, we want to reflect as much damage back as possible. Four-leaf clover, again, this is just quality of life for when we're going to, if we use VATS outside of EN06 farming. Curator, because we'll be going to be running either an energy gun bobblehead or a small gun bobblehead. And battle genes for a little bit of health regen. Faulty spots is an important one. you will get extra weak point damage, which is really good against the Guardian. Bloody Mess is being shared by my mule account. RIP Bloody Mess. This was nerfed pretty heavily, and it's only widened the gap in terms of DPS comparing Ghoul to Bloodied, so unfortunate there. All right, we'll do a quick walkthrough here. Go ahead and just activate the Guardian. We're going to get as pretty much close as possible, just because I know they nerf ranges and stuff, so it wouldn't hurt to just be as close as possible. Turn our flashlight off so we don't accidentally affect our stealth. Take a Psycho buff for a little bit extra damage. And what we're going to do is just occasionally shoot the Pepper Shaker so we can keep Bullet Shield active. And then just let the Guardian damage itself. I'll give it a solid second here before I crouch, just because it seems like it's better at keeping yourself in caution. And as you can see, we're doing some pretty good damage here. The damage will drop off slightly over time sometimes because your follow-through runs out, but like you saw there, 50 seconds, pretty solid run. Would have been faster if the Guardian was doing more damage to us a little bit quicker. All right, covering our Bloodied build now. The weapon is more or less the same. The only difference I would really want to call out is that I am running my Pepper Shaker with vampires, since when you do reflective damage or the enemy shoots you, it can trigger vampires. So obviously being a low health character, that's very beneficial. I'll go ahead and just show you the Enclave Plasma Flamer, more or less the same as the one I have on my Ghoul character. Armor that I'm running, full set of troubleshooters with +2 luck, through hikers and AGs. +2 luck. The reason I have that is to increase our reflect chance with ricochet, since ricochet scales based on your luck. And the reason I have that is because when you ricochet damage back, you don't take that damage, and as a Bloodied character, I think it's pretty helpful. If you're, I guess, really good at taking your stim packs or have other ways to reduce your damage, you could put +2 luck or +2 intelligence to buff your damage with the Enclave Plasma Flamer a little bit further. And AGs, that's the best that I had for damage mitigation / reduction for this build. I don't have enough reflective when I was making this armor, so I definitely would substitute reflective in here if you can. Mutations, it's going to be exactly the same as the Ghoul. The only difference is I have healing factor on here. Not really required. That's just what this character has, though. I'll just go over this a little bit quicker than the Ghoul one, but here's our special point allocation. If you'd like to screenshot that. And go through the perks here, starting off with Legendary. And of course, I accidentally just de-equipped a perk. What was it? Bullet Storm. Oh, easy target. I just took off. Lovely. Okay. Same thing for our damaging. We got easy target and Bullet Storm. All damaging cards in Perception, Number Cruncher, Tank Killer, Tormentor, Smart Shot, Center Masochist. We do have a lot more tankiness or survivability related cards in Endurance, just because we have a Bloodied character, not a Ghoul. So that's one main difference. I didn't have enough points in this build to put Tenderizer on. I guess I could take off Critical Savvy if I wanted to and use Tenderizer, but I do use this build outside of farming the EN06 sometimes, so that's just why I have it that way. Field Surgeon, I think this is a must on this build. It really, really helps keeping you alive when your stim pack is healing you faster. Nerd Rage, the quintessential Bloodied perk card, and Science for buffing our energy damage based on intelligence. Over in Agility, more or less the same as the Ghoul, just have a variety of Gunslinger and Onslaught related perk cards, along with Covert Operative. Another difference is Born Survivors being ran here, just because it'll help with our survivability. And then luck is also more or less the same, so not too many difference. The main difference being that you're running Nerd Rage instead of Faulty Spots, and you're running some more survivability cards in Endurance, and less room for carry weight cards, I'll say. And run through an example of our Bloodied build here. Gonna start this. Gonna take a psycho buff. And take our toxic goo and dirty water to get us just right down below the 20% threshold for nerd rage. Burn a flashlight off. We've already taken our energy gun bobblehead in this case here. So this one will need to be a lot more proactive with spamming our stims, so just keep that in mind. One's taking a little bit longer to shoot me back here. Alright, well, we'll give it a minute to go into caution. I'm still in danger, of course. Why wouldn't I be? But still doing okay damage, 4,900. This damage would be a lot more if I was in caution. There we go. See, now we're doing some more damage. And just at a minute, probably could get this a little bit faster, but for some reason, my stealth bonus didn't activate right away. Overall, still pretty quick, though. Thank you all so much for watching the video and making it to this point. I can only imagine that you enjoyed yourself, so hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know in the comments what video you'd like to see next, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.